Justin Verlander meets with the Dodgers. The Lakers believe they are only a few players away from being championship contenders. Isn't that every team? And because we can't get enough bad news, Aaron Donald is now limping around. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is November 29th, 2022. We've added a new subscriber to the Angelino familia. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. And in the meantime, if you like the content we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's why I created the show in the first place. So before we go through the news and notes, quick look at the scoreboard. Indiana rallied past the Lakers 116-115 on a buzzer-beating three-pointer from Andrew Nembhard. Fascinating name, Nembhard. Totally don't want to disrespect the man by making fun of his name, Nembhard. Meanwhile, today, the Clippers are in Portland. They're going to play at 7:30. Kawhi Leonard and John Wall, both of them are out for LA. No word on Paul George. Meanwhile, the Kraken are in town to play the LA Kings. That's also at 7:30. Gabe Vilardi is back with the team. John Heyman of the New York Post reported yesterday that the Dodgers met with Justin Verlander on Monday. The following is complete speculation on my part. Verlander, who's won 3 Cy Young Awards, he won the world title with Houston last year. No belief that Verlander cheated, by the way. Verlander is going to be 40 next year. And we understand he probably wants a 3-year deal, but I think LA is going to come back and say, what if we give you a 2-year deal and just overload on the money that you can get for those 2 years? You consider Max Scherzer's base deal when he went to the New York Mets. 2 years, $86 million, which just blows your mind. But you might ask yourself, would that be enough to consider Scherzer dropping the 3rd year when he would be obviously pushing 43? You might also ask yourself if it really is a top priority when you look at the Dodgers' first 4 starters to add yet another pitcher. But then you have to remember, Walker Buehler is going to be missing the entire next season due to his Tommy John surgery. And with Walker Buehler out, then you have to ask yourself, does this team really have an ace? It's not Clayton Kershaw anymore, right? I mean, look, you say you're rich. I wish we could say we're rich. You have a trophy wife. Well, the trophy wife is the one who gets the Mercedes-Benz with the red bow on the roof for Christmas. You're the Dodgers. You need a trophy pitcher. You put a red bow on Justin Verlander. Yesterday, we debuted the erase board with players that the Dodgers are allegedly interested in. Because this bleeping list is just to compile all the names that alleged professional journalists say the Dodgers are trying to land. Look at this list. Do you believe for one moment that the Dodgers are really interested in every last person on this list? And it really blows my mind because all of these professional journalists, these crabby little wordsmiths, can't for a moment say, oh, come on, there's no way the Dodgers are trying to get all of these mother effers, right? Look at this list. Who thinks they're going to get all these bastards? And by the way, since yesterday I went through the interweb all over again, we have 11 more names added to the list. Chris Bassett, Kodai Senga, Dansby Swanson, Brandon Nimmo, Brian Anderson, Andrew Benettini, Corbin Burns, Lucas Giolito, Tyler Glasnow, Jason Adam, Rafael Devers, and Pablo Lopez. Suffice it to say, I'm going to need a bigger whiteboard. Wouldn't you say? Good Lord. So no, I bring that board to you, one, to illustrate the absurdity that everybody claims that the Dodgers are interested in them. There's no way. Meanwhile, Ken Rosenthal wrote in The Athletic, the Dodgers routinely sign draft picks represented by super agent Scott Boras. Draft picks. But they have not added a veteran free agent that was also a Boras client since 2012. So what does that mean? Well, take a look at Corey Seager. He was a Boras client. He became a free agent as a veteran. They let him go. Cody Bellinger is a Scott Boras client. Also on that list behind me, Carlos Correa, Rodon, Brandon Nimmo, all Scott Boras clients. So yeah, maybe the Dodgers aren't interested in everybody on that list. I'm basically trying to keep everybody tethered to reality, because just like the Lakers, how the Lakers get linked with every potential major name in the NBA, all they have to do is give up their draft picks, right? The Dodgers can't possibly be interested in every last player on that list. A little skepticism is a good idea. By the way, has anybody noticed that Clayton Kershaw hasn't signed his contract yet? Just wondering out loud. CBSSports.com reported yesterday that players inside the locker room believe the Lakers are, quote, a couple of players away, unquote, from being a championship contender. I'm guessing the players in the locker room are Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Why? Glad you asked. Why not say Lonnie Walker IV? Because anyone not named Anthony Davis or LeBron James would be considered expendable in a trade. Every last one of them. Patrick Beverley, name a starter, name a bench jockey, they would all be expendable. But I believe that this story about the Lakers only being a couple of players away was planted by Davis and James because the timing of the story is extremely suspicious. ESPN's Dave McMenamin, he's loitering around Crypto.com arena on Monday, and he's trying to find reasons to still hype up a Russell Westbrook to Indiana trade. The proposed trade was Westbrook plus 2 first-round picks to the Pacers for guard Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. LA balked at sending 2 first-round picks. Now, before the season, you might recall, many fans would have gladly taken that trade, and they would have gladly severed off a testicle to make this trade happen. No anesthesia either. But there are a number of reasons to slam on the brakes for this trade now. The Lakers have won 5 of their last 7. Russell Westbrook isn't acting like a jerk. He mended fences with Patrick Beverley. He's willfully coming off the bench and excelling. The return of Thomas Bryant mitigating the need for another big man like Miles Turner. And oh, by the way, the Lakers are already the tallest team in the NBA. Turner is clearly playing for a new contract. There's no reason to believe that the great numbers he's putting up now would be continually great after he signs a new deal. And oh, by the way, Turner still got blown up Sunday by the Clippers of Ika Zubac. So how much of an upgrade would it be? There's also a reason for Indy to reconsider trading for Russell Westbrook. They're 12-8. So why would you break up a potential playoff team? And yet you go online and the headlines are like screaming for the Lakers to make a trade. Updates on the trade that could save the Lakers season. That was on ESPN. Really? Save the Lakers season. Here's the headline for The Athletic about the Lakers. Now is the time to decide. You don't think that Anthony Davis and LeBron James are pulling these 3 scribes aside and urging them to hype up a Laker trade? Lo and behold, when the Pacers are in town, what a coinky-dink. So the smart money about this whole the Lakers must make a decision now stuff, this is all the latest bit of Lakers Game of Thrones palace intrigue. Only I didn't watch Game of Thrones. It was only a matter of time before this happened. Surefire Hall of Famer Aaron Donald has a high ankle sprain. Now, to be clear, he's not been ruled out for Sunday. He has never missed a game due to injury. But high ankle sprain, Cooper Kupp already has a high ankle sprain. He's on the IR. Losing Donald would be catastrophic for the defense. The entire Rams system is predicated on Donald drawing double and triple teams. And on the other hand, though, hear me out on this because I really need y'all to grasp it. A player looks at his win-loss record and he sits there and goes, why the hell am I risking my health for this? Pull me out, coach. Pull me out. I'm your franchise guy. By the way, Donald has 5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss. At some point today, we will have college football playoff projections. Stay tuned. Also, I will be going to the Pac-12 championship game where the Trojans take on Utah. If you see me there, feel free to say hi. Also with the Trojans, Kenny Dillingham was introduced as the new head coach for Arizona State football. The reason I bring it up, when the Sun Devils first cleaned house with the program, Trojans defensive coordinator Alex Grinch was hyped as a candidate, but I doubt he interviewed for the job. Grinch was also ballyhooed by the local press as a candidate for the Colorado position, but Deion Sanders said the Buffaloes have offered the gig to him. I do take a peek at bowl projections week after week, and now that we don't know necessarily about UCLA, I think it's kind of interesting. CBS Sports projects the Bruins are going to head to the Las Vegas Bowl on December 17th. I bring that up because there is a belief that if UCLA gets selected to that game, quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is more likely to play than to abandon ship on the program. He's from Las Vegas, after all. USA Today, meanwhile, projects UCLA to go to the Alamo Bowl. 2 analysts from ESPN project for UCLA to go to the Sun Bowl. So there's that. Can we take a moment and respect Derwin James? Dude forced a fumble. He intercepted Kyler Murray on Sunday, added 8 tackles. I don't think the Bolts win that game without him. You tell me. Also, I have to be real with you. The Chargers are 29th in run defense. They allowed James Conner 120 rushing yards on Sunday. Now, if you're like me, you're saying, who the hell is James Connors? But Sunday, they play the Raiders. And we all know who the hell Josh Jacobs is. A group called True Media, they claim the Chargers give up 5.53 yards per designed run. That is the worst average of any team since the year 2000. Even worse, True Media doesn't have any numbers going further back than 2000, i.e. the Chargers are one of the worst run defenses, not just this year, but possibly ever. ESPN graded the LA Kings at the quarter mark of the NHL season and gave them a B. They said the Kings are great at getting contributions from the entire roster. 9 players have at least 10 points, but the goaltending stinks. And you know what? All of that is fair. It really is. But I do have a mild concern for LA. The over-under for points this season is 94. They are on pace for 92. By the way, defenseman Frederick Allon goes back to Ontario. The Galaxy finally have signed 19-year-old homegrown talent Jonathan Perez to a 4-year contract. He played 7 games with the big club last year. He spent a lot of last year with LA Galaxy 2 in USL. His claim to fame, he scored a goal against Chivas Guadalajara at SoFi Stadium. You might remember that mid-year clash that they had. Both the Galaxy and LAFC played Liga MX teams. So yeah, they like Jonathan Perez a lot. Now you'd let me know though what you think in the comments thread, because man, this is a ton. What about the Dodgers list or Justin Verlander being on it? Do you see them going after Scott Boras players? What about the Lakers? Do those stories have any legitimacy to them whatsoever? And where do you think UCLA should wind up being in the bowl projections? So, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We do talk LA sports here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.